Came to this country as an L1 visa.
L1 visa. America and US is giving that ecosystem to, I think, excel in yourself, right?
Okay, so I think the one piece of advice that I tell you that after you come here, do not forget that you came here to study.
What skills they need to succeed in US job market?
In India, I think we over publicize STEM, and in a way, it is time for us to maybe flip the switch
Flip the
and
switch, yes.
all
Commerce
give
and
it-
psychology. Yeah, it's a
commerce,
very-
psychology, all those kinds of things, because that is a growing field. Like
Yeah. And what are the top two mistakes international students are doing while they are doing for the visa interview?
agency can help you, but at the end of the day, they are not going to be the ones who are giving the interview. So, one of the biggest problems that students face is because they freeze because of fear.
Hey student, this is Darshan Shah from DVB Consultant. How are you all? Today I am with my very good friend Mr. Samrat from Webster University. He is an Assistant Vice President at Webster University, and we are bringing you lots and lots of information about the Webster University because it's a very popular university nowadays in India, specifically in Gujarat, because we are recruiting for Webster since long time, and I have an amazing guest. He is a fantastic personality and with a full of informations, full of enthusiasm. Welcome, Mr. Samrat.
Thank you, Darshan. Thanks
you.
a lot.
Thanks a lot.
I really appreciate the work that you do at Vivid for several years. You are a symbol of trust, and we respect you as educators for the
Thank
good
you.
work that you do.
Thank you so much. The first question I have, like, how many campus Webster have?
So we currently, for international students within US, we focus on two specific campuses: the Missouri campus, which is the main campus in St. Louis, where they have both bachelor's and master's programs,
Right.
and for Texas San Antonio, we have the master's degree programs. And outside of US, there are many campuses. The popular ones are Leiden, Greece, Geneva in Switzerland, and obviously Leiden in Netherlands, Austria in Vienna.
Wow.
So these are some of the other popular campuses.
Right. So that means student will get exposure from entire world, something like that.
Yes, so they have option to start in one campus and move to another campus, or they can also study in one campus, complete their degree, and then do the further studies.
Right. And I would like to ask you more about the grad program. Like, what are the requirements for the graduate programs?
So Webster follows a very simple admissions process. We believe the GPA of a student is a better indicator
Okay.
of their profile rather than a competitive test, which is a snapshot view. So we believe that the student should have upper second class or first class marks, and to get into the admission, we need an English language test, usually 6.0 IELTS or a Duolingo 105 to get into the program. But we have many, I would say, conditional acceptance possibilities where we can also take students.
Right. So can you tell me about your journey? What's your journey and what's your background?
So my background is, interestingly, I studied media communications in my undergraduate, and I'm an MBA. I mostly am from the business world, but I was fortunate to study abroad for both my master's and bachelor's
Wow.
degrees. And when I graduated, I was in love with the school system, and I felt that a lot of students who wanted to come did not have proper advice, and from the institution perspective, they didn't know. So I started working there, and I've worked and lived across in Asia. I've worked in America for a long time, and for the last 20 years, I'm working in this field,
Wow.
and many of those years are with Webster.
Oh, right. Yeah. That means you came on student visa?
I never came to this country on a student visa. I came to this country as an L1 visa.
L1 visa.
L1
Okay.
visa, and then that converted to a green card.
Green
So
card.
I'm a permanent resident.
So I think this is the amazing success story for all the students. Maybe they are planning for F1 visa or maybe the L1 visa, because America and US is giving that ecosystem to, I think, excel in yourself, right? I think that's the environment US is giving to you.
Yeah, I think there are so many pathways. So a lot of the times you have to imagine that coming to the United States with an F1 student visa, you get the opportunity currently with OPT, for example. So that gives you an experience that you cannot get in any other country because it's integrated with your programs, deliverables, outcomes, and then that gives you time for applying for other things like the H-1B or things like the AB5 investor category. A lot of these kinds of new categories of visas are there, which students do not understand. So I think we need to always enlighten students that there are so many pathways that are there, and not just like that rhetoric that people think that if you have an F1 and if you do not get a H1B, then your life is over. That's not true. There are many ways of doing it if you are looking at it.
Okay, so I have what one piece of advice you can give to the international student to succeed in USA, because international students always come with lots of doubts and lots of questions and they are not motivated. Like, what one piece of advice you can give to the international students?
Okay, so I think the one piece of advice that I tell you that after you come here, do not forget that you came here to study. A lot of the times people are too much into like campus jobs and all those kinds of things. That's all very good and you will do it. But from the very first semester, at least the first semester and the second semester to some extent, spend the time to understand how to become successful student in the classroom, because you are going to come to a system which is very different than what you have learned in home. In home it is more like a rote learning system, which means that your memory work is more important. Here it is more on the critical thinking side, which is not normal in the Indian system. Usually things are changing, but it's not normal, and there's nothing wrong or right. It's just different systems, so I think learning to be a good student, getting those good grades, and learning how the culture to mix with the culture. So I see a lot of times, if you are a student from Ahmedabad, you are trying to find other students who are from Ahmedabad, and you are only sticking to them. You should always celebrate most of the times with your own people, but also try to mix with people who are not like you. Maybe like an American friend, maybe having somebody from Germany, somebody from Portugal, somebody from Africa as a continent, or Nigeria as a country, for example. Because when you're going to go and work in the global workplace, those are the kinds of people you will be dealing with. You might not be a person from Ahmedabad,
Yes.
So that's the thing which is very important in the first part. A lot of the times people think, oh, that's not important, I'm here. But what are you doing?
Whatever.
Yes. So that's important.
So I think that's a very good advice I just got from Mr. Samrat, that if you are international students and if you are studying in USA, or maybe you are planning to come to USA, you need to make sure that you have to come out of your comfort zone and you need to talk with the different students on campus for the different nationality, which will help you to increase your soft skill, maybe an interpersonal skill. I think this is a best must-go advice from this podcast, and I really like this podcast because I don't want to ask you about the requirement or anything. I just want to dig you in more and just try to help more students. Like,
Sure.
Maybe in your life you have talked to lots of international students, right? Like, what skills they need to succeed in US job market?
So I think the hard skills are already, that you need to be good in, your subject area. You need to, if you're a programmer, you need to be good in the programming. If you are going to study business, you need to learn it. So study side is fine. The important skill is the soft skill development.
Yes.
So for example, I think one of the things that I say is this dress to success. This mantra of the dress to success. Like what you are wearing and how presentable you are. Not just when you're going for your job interview, but in your day-to-day life. So, for example, in the American culture, you are maybe meeting people who will be influencers in your life, or who will make or break your life on a day-to-day basis if you're a student. And maybe you are coming to the class in, like, you just woke up from the room, you came without any preparation and things like that. The impression is not the same. It looks like you can't even take care of yourself. You don't have hygiene, and those are important aspects. So skill development of the softer sides, communication skill, English language, even though you might be, I mean, today we were doing in AIRC, the event where we are here, I was hearing this Japanese student who was saying that I thought I was the best English speaker in my village, but when I came here, and when I spoke to an American, the only thing I understood was hello.
Hello.
And then the rest was blah, 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 blah. So that is what is the important thing to understand, that even though you are great in your own space and your accent, you might want to acquire that language. So university campuses have these kinds of programs like where we give you soft skill development. Like for Webster University, we do a program where you can take the speaking part, and there's a culture chat, all those kinds of things. So take advantage of those services and you will be
So
successful.
that means on-campus participation is required.
Very, very important.
To
In
get
events, in social activities, in clubs, those are the ways, places where you learn how to become suitable for this culture.
Right.
Not when you are looking at a professor and learning. That is a different skill level. So
Right.
that soft skill, I think, is very important.
Okay, that's. I think it's a key mantra. If you want to succeed, if you want to succeed in USA, soft skill is required. Hygiene is required, and when you go to school or maybe you attend the class, make sure you dress well, right? I think this is the very good advice I got from the Mr. Samrat, right? He is doing everything practically on day-to-day basis, and he are in touch with the lots of international students on the day-to-day life. I think I want to ask you more about, like, maybe you are in touch with the lots of employer, right? Lots of companies, right? Like what companies are looking in international students?
So I can't say that I personally work with a lot of companies.
Yeah.
We have a unit that takes care of those kinds of things. But I generally know, like being an employer myself
Yes.
of students, I look at attitude.
Okay.
I look at, that's the one thing that I look as a hiring manager,
Right.
that what is the positivity or negativity to outlook towards life? Do you have a can-do attitude?
Okay.
So we know that if the problems are all solved, then we don't need you.
Don't need, right.
So if you have the problem solving skill, like another skill which we look for. So those are the attitude, the temperament is very important. We need to know that if you have the academic background, and for that we look at the grades.
Right.
It is not. This is a lot of competition. So if you have if you're applying for a job in accountancy and your grade is C, you are competing with 15 other people, 20 other people for that job whose grades are A. So we have a lot of options. So
Right.
you have to keep that the score in mind, and it's so easy to get success because in American system we don't take only a final exam. You get those grades throughout by attending classes. You are making sure that you are successful. So hiring managers look for people who have a right attitude, who have the good background, who have a pleasant personality, and all the soft skills that I talked about.
Right, great. Now we can move forward to the university part. Like how many courses you guys are providing at the Webster University?
So, off the top of my head, I think we have between 60 to 100 different programs in bachelor's and masters.
Okay.
But the ones that are most popular are about, like, if you say the top five, I would say the cybersecurity, computer science, biological sciences, data analytics, information systems. Those are some of the programs which are popular, but we also have international relations, psychology, business MBA, Bachelor of Business Administration, BSBA. So those kinds of programs are also very popular.
Right. Going forward, I would like to ask you about like STEM and non-STEM. Can you give a differentiation about the STEM and non-STEM?
So STEM in the US, I think you may be familiar with, is basically the first letters of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics.
Yes.
So there are some programs in the US which are designated as STEM because the US requires certain jobs to be in the STEM category. So they require students to be graduating out of STEM,
Right.
and that's a reason. I think in the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s, there was a thing which was created called the OPT, Optional Practical Training. And the STEM graduates can get an advantage of additional 2 years of the optional practical training. So basically, it's a post-study work opportunity,
Right.
and this makes it a 3-year work opportunity. So that one thing is that to understand that science, technology, engineering, mathematics are groups of subjects which, if you graduate from them, then that aligns with the market in the US where there is a labor shortage. So that's why it is so important, because US is, like, as you know, like, is a technological superpower, and it's a scientific superpower. So we need to produce graduates in those fields, and that's why those designations exist. And non-STEM programs just means that these are not the sciencey kind of a programs, but that doesn't mean that they are inferior programs. It's just a different category, like so. So there's nothing. There's this notion that STEM programs are the superior and non-STEM are not superior. That is not correct in my opinion. It's just the advantages are a little bit different. And remember that if you are a non-STEM program, but you are good in your program, you still get an OPT and you still have all those advantages that STEM has, except for the 2 year extra like work experience. But a country cannot run only based on STEM. You also need this non-STEM. The balance is there. STEM is 55% of the total recruiting volume in the United States, but 45% is non-STEM.
Non-STEM, right.
So the country needs both. And so for those people who are from the business side of things or from other disciplines, you should know that maybe it is good that you have that variety and that distinction, because a country needs both STEM and non-STEM. In India, I feel we over publicize STEM, and in a way, it is time for us to maybe flip the switch
Yes.
also talk about non-STEM.
Non-STEM, yes, commerce and psychology. Yeah, it's a
Commerce,
very-
psychology, all those kinds of things, because that is a growing field. Like
Yeah.
teachers, we need a lot of teachers
Right.
who want to do there. So teacher education is very important. And we have a program like MA in TESOL, teaching English as a second language. So those kinds of programs are non-STEM, but because of the scarcity of English teachers and foreign and other such teaching courses like K through 12 programs, those are some things that you will see that has a requirement, but are not so popular in India, because people think, oh, I will get the 3 year OPT, but they miss the point.
It's a-
That's
right. I think that's a fantastic information. And MA in TESOL is a very popular program for in USA who would like to become a teacher and like to pursue their career in their educations, right? Lots of students in India have done Bachelor of Commerce, which is 15 year of education, Bachelor of Business Administration, also Bachelor of Science in Information Technology. Do you accept 15 year of education at Webster University?
Yes, we do. And for the last almost 20 years now, Webster shifted to a model which allows you to get that 15-year degree into our bachelor's degree. So we recruited close to 300 students last year, and almost majority, like almost everyone had a 15-year education.
Oh, okay,
so
great.
that is a very, very significant number.
Right. The question I have, like, what are the things you are looking in international applications? Like, if student is applying to your university and when you receive entire package, what is the topmost criteria for giving the admissions?
So we look at the university or the school where you have finished from, and if it is accredited. So we look and we verify those scores that you are given. So that is the most important thing, and then your financial documents is important. We require the financial statements to ensure that you can afford your curriculum. So those are some of the other things that we require.
Student just need a liquid asset for issuing I-20, or you are accepting loan and other liquid asset as well?
Yeah, I think loans, anything that is a loan guarantee letter is
Yes.
enough for us to issue that.
Right. So students, if you are listening this video, make sure for issuing the I-20, you might need a liquid fund, plus also the loan is accepted. That means if you are taking loan, then don't go or don't get trapped with the saving fund. Loan is also accepted for issuing I-20, okay? This is the crystal clear information coming from the Western University Vice President, Mr. Samrat Chaudhuri. And just stay with us, we have more things to talk to him. Okay, what is one piece of advice you can give to international students who are going for the US student visa interview?
Don't over prepare.
Okay.
Read a lot about the university, about the student life, about the city where you're going to be aware, but don't have prepared, rehearsed scripts.
Okay.
Because the more you are scripted, you make more mistakes. Be real, be genuine, take time in answering the questions, don't rush your answers. Be very prompt and brief, do not over answer, do not keep talking and one after the other and just trying to get a read of whether or not the officer is being impressed or not. Don't talk too much. Those are some of the important things that embassy officials tell us they are looking for.
Right. Okay. And what are the top two mistake international students are doing when they are going for the visa interview?
I think they are over preparing, and they are also allowing. They are not studying too much
Yes.
about the institution. They are depending too much on the agency.
Right.
Agency can help you, but end of the day, they are not going to be the ones who are giving the interview. So it is very important to talk to your counselor at your agency, or and tell them I want to read, I want to learn. There is no shortcut.
Right.
So that is what I would say.
Yes. So everyone is talking about the mistake students are making, but no one is telling like how student can prepare for the visa interview. What advice you can give, like how student can get ready for the visa interview, and how they can motivate themselves. Like what are the key points student need to take care?
So I think one of the biggest problems that students face is because they freeze because of fear
Okay.
and
That's a
talking
good
to
one.
strangers, right? So I think before the interview, trying to talk to strangers, completely strange people, and having a chat and a conversation boosts confidence.
Okay.
I was a very shy person in my early life, and then I would never talk to the person who is sitting next to me in a plane. And then later, I just always nowadays I always introduce myself when I smile, and things change.
Okay.
I think smile is one
Wow.
thing that you connect a lot with humans, and when you smile and with a gentle thing, you start talking to strangers before the interview. Maybe you will have less fear
Right.
of an officer. You can, like for example, go and say hello to the cop standing
Cops.
next, or a college principal, who you have difficulty, like position of power. People who you are afraid of. Talk to them, approach them, and build a relationship. That helps you face your fear.
Yeah, this is a fantastic information, guys. This is, I think, I have done lots of podcasts with the lots of university representative, but the information which is given by Mr. Samrat is fabulous because he knows the what students wants, what the visa officer wants, and what how you need to prepare for the visa interview. Okay, that's the amazing informations. Now, going forward, I would like to talk to you about the scholarship. Do your university offer the scholarship?
We do offer some merit scholarships, and they are on the website. Keeps changing, so that's why you have to be on a lookout while
Okay.
you're applying. But yes, we do offer some scholarships.
Yeah. Now, I also want to ask you, like, after submitting the application, how much time you will take to have an admission decision?
So there was a time when we were giving very fast applications and admission decisions, and what we realized is that that is not sustainable over a longer period of time. So we currently say that it can take anywhere between 1 week to 4 weeks.
Okay.
I always recommend that you should plan like 3 to 4 months ahead of the visa cycle,
Cycles. Okay.
so that you have all your documents ready and you apply. But somehow, because of exams coming out late and results, if it is very late, you can talk to your consultant, and there are some expedited visa I-20 process that we have in our system. For the late ones, they cost a little bit of money, but you can expedite your services. It's always good to plan a few months ahead, especially if you're coming to a country so far away.
Yes.
I don't think it's only the visa, it's also about getting the housing, it's also about finding the right price for flights. Everything has to be considered. So it's always good to not ask. I feel the question should not be that how fast you give the
Yes.
Admission
Admissions,
decision.
yes.
The question should be how early should a student
should
apply?
apply,
And
yes.
my response is,
Great.
let us have a 4 month window at least
Right.
from the date of admission.
Admissions.
That's
Wow.
basically
Wow,
what I
that's a
would
great
say.
information, I think. And if any students is planning to apply for fall 2025 intake, right? What steps they need to take care right now?
They need to fill out the application form. They have to have all their documents ready, and their financials ready. We allow applications up until end of April, early May.
Okay.
So there is plenty of time still to prepare. It's still 4 months, 5 months too early,
Right.
and U.S. Embassy is giving appointments very late, so that allows us to have a longer period of time to apply. And if they should gather all the documents. Once again, the website lists all
Yes.
all the information.
There is one question I would like to ask you. There is one myth or maybe a misleading information lots of people in India thinking that if you are joining university, you need to pay your entire tuition fee before you are joining or before you are departing from India. Or what is the truth? Maybe they can come here and pay the fees, or how they can pay the fees, and what will be the truth?
So the truth is that Webster, I mean, each university has its own way of
Yes,
dealing
yes.
with this. As far as we are concerned, we do not charge anything before you get the visa.
Okay.
But after you get the visa, before you come, we do require you to pay a serious financial commitment, which is a deposit.
Right.
The tuition deposit is a way for us to guarantee that we hold a seat for you and that you are coming.
Right.
Webster is a very reputed and reliable university, and the way we have managed to keep that reputation is to make sure that we only take serious students. While we do not want to give a student a wrong visa, but we do want to emphasize that we do not like being taken for a ride. So that is the reason why we are doing a little bit different.
So that means if you got the visa for Webster, then you might get an email from Webster University to pay a certain amount to reserve the seat, and I think it's like a very 2,500 or 2,000 or maybe $3,000, right? So I think you need to pay that amount.
Yeah, it is. I think currently $6,500.
Okay.
And everybody is paying it. Everybody is happy paying
Right.
it because they get the value right away. But after that, it is term by term,
Term by term.
and you do not need to pay the whole amount. We are a university where most of our programs you can finish within $20,000.
Wow.
So it is less than 20 lakhs in Indian currency. So we have that advantage,
Right.
and almost 16 lakhs, 17 lakhs
Yes.
Indian rupees. So that is a very good advantage for
advantage,
Webster.
yes, yes. And
But we need serious
serious student. Yeah.
students.
So I have question on that. Like currently, we have seen that lots of students are transferring out after joining the institute. Can you give them a message like whether they are doing wrong? Because I think U.S. government is taking a very strict action against them. And can you educate them like why they can you educate why don't have to change the university?
Well, I mean, it is the student's right to transfer.
Yes,
so
that's true.
they should transfer if it is the right thing to do.
Right thing to do. Yes.
But I think that what I see is a lot of what I think you should ask, as if you are a student or if you're a parent listening to this,
Yes.
that what is the reason for the transfer? Is it because like it is the right thing, or is it because you're trying to do something to dodge some rules, to make it like the short-term goal
Yes.
rather than long-term? So, for example, if you came to an institution and you are not satisfied because of real reasons, be it the course, be it the culture, be it the weather, it is all right to transfer to another institution. But just because your friends are going there, or just because the classes are easy, if you go to a school with no reputation, just because they are allowing you to, to do things the easy way,
Yeah.
that is where the problem happens.
Right,
And
right.
unfortunately, a lot of students are taking that shortcut, and because of that, they are getting a lot of RFE, request for evidence,
evidence, yes.
in their process of the OPT, and so they are jeopardizing. They don't know that classes online have limitations,
Limitations,
and
yes.
they don't know that coming to a university maybe once in 3 months is not really a academically conducive site for every student. So depending on what you're learning and things, you might think that you have a degree, but if the degree has no weightage, you are not going to be able to find a proper job. So those are the worries that I have.
Right, that's amazing information. So if you are parents and looking at this video, guys, parents, it's my humble request, just talk to your kids, and if he's thinking about the transferring out, listen to Mr. Samrat, what he is saying, right? Lots of students are getting RFE, request for information, when they are going for the OPT, also for maybe a H1B, okay? Transferring out with genuine reason is okay, but transferring out for like dodge yourself is going to be very jeopardize your status in future. Okay, the last question I have, like lots of students came to me last month and telling me that if I am not giving GRE and if I don't have a Duolingo, the visa officer is not going to approve my visa. Is it true?
I don't know. It depends on the institution, but I think it is on the visa officer. But I think it is very important to have the document.
Okay.
in hand, because if you are not able to speak, if you do not have the skill and you are not having an ESL admission, the visa officer is doubting you. So the question once again is that why is the visa officer asking that question? Maybe that person is not convinced that you have the skills, but you are going to a university where they are showing that they don't even need your language, and that is the problem which is happening.
Yes,
So the students once again, they are always jumping into the conclusion, but they are not seeing why that question is coming in the first place, because that is my worry. So if you are from an international school, you have studied all your life in English and you have a waiver, and you come and you speak fluent English and you say, explain, I don't think the visa officer is going to ask you that question. But if you are struggling with your sentence, you just like got an admission somehow to a easy process and a loop, then they are saying, hey, you're going to a full academic program in an English setting. Where is your language? So often these questions that come to you do not give the setting of the stage where this question is being asked. And I think those are the conversations that we need to have.
Yes, guys, thank you for watching this video. So, Mr. Samrat, thank you so much for taking out time. I'm really thankful to you for spending all 20 minutes with us. I have a lots of questions. I am getting lots of positivity from him. But soon we will be in touch.
We will be in Ahmedabad when I'm coming.
And I would like to have a more 2-hour podcast with you for my all international students.
I promise you I will do that. I love doing it. Maybe in Ahmedabad when I'm there in February we can do this.
Sure, because he has an amazing aura. I'm just sitting with him and it's like very positive. I feel like I can ask more questions, but he has to rush. Thank you so much, guys, and keep watching this video. Take care.
Thank you very much.